Hi Aries, welcome to the channel. So gonna bring some like elemental clearing in here. Leo season is coming to a close here. Get some fire. Some water. And some air. Can't see my water cup, but I just, cleared that, put in some purified water. It's a Scorpio moon right now. I watched, it's really interesting. I wish I remember the man's name. There's a Japanese man who has done a lot of work with setting like intentions around water and studying to see about the quality of our thoughts, if that is able to actually change the shape of crystals that form in water. And it's awe-inspiring to see the work that he did. It really is. If you do your best to set not fake positivity, but to set positive intention for yourself and for the world. That doesn't necessarily mean everything is just going to go hunky-dory, but it can really change your reality based on what you think. But I also don't like the it forms to say nice words to the water forms these like beautiful symmetric crystals, and to say angry things at the water really make these amorphous clouded sort of like globular crystals. And I don't like to say that in a way that it's like people can necessarily just choose their happiness. I think that can actually be gaslighting, to tell somebody who is in a real kind of grief to just be happy. But it also is true in parts as well. Aries is the cardinal fire, the head in sort of like medical or like anatomic astrology. So let's get a read for Aries. Sometimes I consider when the deck kind of stops, even if it doesn't flip out, that's an okay way to start. Okay, so Aries, right now you are in the Ten of Cups energy. So as we're talking about the water energy, you are really feeling a very happy sense of abundance in your family life, feeling celebratory, feeling like your creative opportunities and your love and your relationships have kind of reached that pinnacle of the Ten of Cups. So you are just feeling joy and love and creativity, and praising the whatever sense of divinity that you have for that deep sense of love and abundance that you're feeling. In the challenge energy is the Five of Swords in the reverse. The Five of Swords in the reverse is about sort of putting down the swords and deciding not to necessarily fight with the way that you express and the way that you communicate. Maybe in the past you were communicating in a way that like you were maybe right about some stuff, but that made other people feel not well. And so you might have been right, and this person's like happy with his sword. He's like, I was right. But these people are walking away sad and leaving this person like alone here in his rightness. And so maybe challenge is, continuing to go through this process of putting down the swords and realizing that just because we think something is right or true doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right thing to express or the right way to express it. And so just like the challenge energy of like continuing to learn this process of not just fighting with your words to be right all the time, and to like think a little bit more before you act. So that could be like what you're experiencing as a continued challenge, is to remember to sometimes like put down those swords. In the recent past, you had the Eight of Wands, fire energy for Aries, fire energy for Leo season. This is about fast communication coming in from like you bringing in fast communication. and again, this sort of like heady energy here with like just wanting to be right, and realizing that you need to balance out the head and the heart, which, the head of Aries and the heart of Leo season. In the recent past, the Eight of Wands again, so fire energy with Aries and Leo, coming in with fast communication, communicating with people yourself, having other people communicate with you. Maybe this is communication coming in fast from sort of like a divine sort of spirit, but kind of like moving fast, moving ahead, keeping it moving is recently what you've been coming out of. And that keeping it moving energy has brought you into this space of now the Ten of Cups. So like you're putting in that work, that Aries drive, the ram to get ahead and have inspired action and to lead, and it has brought you to this energy of the Ten of Cups, to stand in that energy of yours. And in the near future, you have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords has clarity and is able to communicate in a way that is nurturing to herself as a feminine energy, whether or not you're, regardless of your gender or your sex, and is ruling over her kingdom, Leo season, with clarity and truth, and able to communicate her ideas, take in other people's ideas, and meld that into something that it makes sense and is practical. Clear cognition, clear communication. So in working to put down these Five of Swords, working to put down the swords, we are stepping now into Queen of Swords energy, which is having now found more control over the ways in which you communicate, so that you can build a more productive life for both yourself and the people who are around you. So that's really lovely. Moving in hot with this wand energy, finding this abundance of love in this next phase of your journey, this abundance of creativity, and it's a challenge, but it's still working to like put down, try to be honest, but also to put down the swords when it's not helpful, to like, when you don't want to be jousting and you just want to be, I guess when you don't want to be, I don't want to use that word, when you don't want to be stabbing, you just want to be jousting. That's a better, sometimes a more productive way to use the swords, and learning that energy enough to step into this strong, feminine Queen of Swords energy. In the energy above is the Queen of Pentacles. So consciously you are working, a lot of Queen energy here, so standing in your divine feminine energy, working to accumulate wealth and abundance and resources, and developing, a solid sense of work-life balance, and standing in feminine stability, like taking care of things in a very practical way for both yourself and for others, and getting your resources and really the money and the stability that you need to live your life. Fertile, not necessarily like a fully fertile card, but like she's standing in this garden in the mountains, her feet are grounded onto the earth, and she's gently cradling this resource that she has built for herself. And in your subconscious energy, beautiful, the Five of Wands in the reverse, fire energy, Aries reading, Leo season. Similar to this Five of Swords in the reverse, I see, the Five of Wands is about not battling so much anymore. So not that fiery energy that sometimes just wants to battle and thinks that maybe it's the right thing to do just because, just thinks that it's the right thing to do. Sometimes the answer is just not to battle, even if there is something that you have to communicate. It's also important to make sure that you're communicating in a way that other people are able to take that in, understand you. So in this energy below, is you are really working to not just battle people with that passionate fire energy that you have just for its own sake. So with the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, really working to sort of release conflict. Sometimes this can have to do with like having like some inner conflict about something, but I'm reading this definitely as work more trying to allow that conflict to dissipate more than always fighting it just to do that. The advice right now is the Eight of Pentacles. So putting in work. So this matches your above energy of the Queen of Pentacles. So maybe you're really working right now to develop your resources, your abundance, your money, your career path, skill development, tinkering to get yourself to a place of stable abundance when it comes to your resources and your finances and your money. And so keep putting in that work with that Queen of Pentacles, with the Eight of Pentacles. You're standing in this Queen of Pentacles energy already and helping to continue to tinker and develop your skills and develop your work life is your advice in this moment. The energy surrounding you is the Two of Wands in the reverse. So maybe sort of feeling like a little bit of a delay on the path, like maybe this isn't exactly where you had expected to be at this current time. This is really a card of like planning, fire energy, Aries, Sun, Leo season. So maybe some sort of plan that you had like intended to have happen is sort of feeling delayed at this moment. It seems like generally you're standing in like a very solid energy, but still maybe like there is like a reworking of a plan that you're wanting to do, or this isn't exactly where you would expect it to be in the journey at this time. So just feeling like maybe a little bit of a delay wherever it is that you're at right now. In your hopes and fears placement is the Seven of Swords, more sword energy. So this card can have to do with like trying to get away with something or like a sense of betrayal. So maybe a fear right now is a sense of betrayal. That you are getting away with something that you feel like maybe you shouldn't get away with, or that you're getting away with it and you're wondering, will somebody catch it? Or maybe you're fearful that someone else is going to betray you. But the Seven of Swords can be like a little bit a stressful energy, so it makes sense that this would be something that you would be fearful of. But this is a position of whether or not it's actually true. You might be worried that there is, a sense, there is some sort of, trying to just fit it in here, figure it out, how it fits. It's just like a fear of being betrayed, which I think we would all have. But I think, Aries feels, a lot of pain from those kinds of things because they are fresh in the spark and can be, in a fiery way, can be sensitive. And so just being fearful of some type of betrayal going on, or hoping that you're not betraying something for yourself or to other people. And the outcome energy here is the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So a little bit muddled, unclear thinking, needing to rework an idea, rework a plan, which kind of makes sense with the energy surrounding you, the Two of Wands in the reverse. So maybe just needing to think a little bit more about some sort of situation in your life, some idea that has to do with, I don't want to say necessarily with Pentacle energy, because I think you're just really standing in that solid Pentacle energy, to keep it moving. I don't know if this has to do with that necessarily, but maybe this is just about like reworking the way that you express your ideas. Not necessarily sure if what you have been doing up until this point has been, fully adaptive and fully helpful. And so reworking the way that you sort of think about the world so that you can have maybe a different result than you have had up until this point. But the outcome, if nothing were to change here, is just like reworking an idea, trying to think about something maybe in a different way, or if there's an idea that you've had, trying to just like, you're just kind of like sitting on that for a little bit and not necessarily like moving forward with this new idea quite yet. And so just needing to rethink things a little bit. But in the meantime, putting in this work on that Pentacle energy is very helpful to kind of help yourself ground that sense of stability, which can be very helpful, especially for a sign like fire signs. But really, overall, this feels very beautiful and grounded. You might feel a little bit of like a delay around a specific idea that you've been working with, but like continuing to tinker and put in that work, working to release conflict for conflict's sake, will lead you into being able to rework some sort of idea so that you can move towards, this Queen of Swords energy, who knows how to communicate in a way that is adaptive for themselves and for others. Arrow, you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life, and that's definitely what this seems like to me, especially this recent Eight of Wands energy, trying to really harness that beautiful inspiration and moving ahead that Aries and the fire does towards a successful result. And we have the sun here, which is Leo season, and the mountains about to move into Virgo season, the earth. So you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. An exciting event might be coming up for you within this energy, and it looks like you are ready to accept whatever is coming next. And fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. Never really know what these mean, but maybe it could be you or someone that you are interacting with recently or in the near future that could have some sort of meaningful purpose in this energy that we're working with here. So we have happiness, cleanse, and flow. So right now is the Scorpio moon, cleansing and flowing with that water energy and just happiness. I feel like Aries definitely know how to be happy and keep it moving. Some people say, it's the first sign, so people say oh, it's baby Aries, so just a little reactive and stuff like that. But within that reactivity, it's also very easy, not always very easy, but Aries can really kind of pick themselves up by the bootstraps and just keep it moving, because that's what they know to do, is to just keep it moving. And so that sense of happiness, most Aries who I know do have an ease to find happiness. They can be on to the next thing very quickly, and so they're able to. Doesn't necessarily always mean that what was behind that got processed fully, but they do kind of keep it moving, and within that there is this beautiful ability for growth that sometimes people who get a little more bogged down and stuck don't experience as easily with that happiness. So let's see the happiness first. And it's orange energy for the fire, for Aries, for Leo season. Happiness is one of the most beautiful feelings, as if the world is shimmering around you, but we seldom acknowledge when we're feeling good and instead focus on when we're feeling bad. So take this time to cherish your happiness, really experience it and feel its warmth. So that warmth of the fire, and you're experiencing this beautiful happiness with the Ten of Cups right now. So just, you don't have to think too much about it, just experience the happiness and, and remember the joy of this moment that you're feeling. And that's great, Aries. I'm happy to see that. Cleanse, water energy. Cleansing is a beautiful way to show love and appreciation for yourself, your belongings, and your space. It's wiping away the dust and grime to reveal the shine underneath, bringing a sense of calm, ease, and clarity. When this card comes up, ask yourself what could use a little extra cleansing. How could you give yourself or your space a little extra love? And so I love this because you have this Ten of Cups energy here in your present moment with that water energy. And you're moving towards the sense of clarity. So is there something that you could cleanse, to take a shower, to go for a swim, spiritually or physically, to clean your house a little bit, but using that water energy to cleanse and flow and start anew. And I love this because I just did fill up my water cup, which also has some of the cleansing gems in there today. So working to cleanse your space, and it looks like that's what you're doing with this Five of Swords and the Five of Wands in the reverse of letting go of conflict that doesn't help you. Sometimes there is good trouble, but sometimes the trouble is not good, and so to just release the conflict that doesn't need to be there. Flow. The name aquamarine is derived from the two Latin words aqua and marina, meaning seawater. This card is about going with the flow, changing and adapting to a situation rather than fighting against it. It's important to keep in mind that currents can be very strong and water always gets to where it wants to go, slowly carving away stone as it flows by. Let this thought guide you on your journey, and let the water carry you where you need to go. So you are releasing this conflict and deciding not to fight so much anymore, and let it just excuse me, and let it just flow here with this Ten of Cups energy that you have that you're experiencing in the present moment. So really beautiful there. Letting it just flow and cleanse. Flow and cleanse. For Aries. So your commitment is being tested. That's the first one I got here. Your commitment is being tested. And maybe that's why this Seven of Swords and the fear. And commitment can be to anything. It can be to, so the first quarter moon, so we are in kind of like a waxing phase of the moon right now. I don't know what the exact, we just had a new moon, so we're like really coming up to this phase if we're not in it now. This could be a commitment to anything. Commitment to the self, to a partner, to a family member, to a friend, to your work, to your job. And so maybe that's why there's a fear of betrayal. Okay, one more moon card for Aries. Usually I don't ask for another moon card, but your commitment is being tested, and that doesn't mean you're gonna fail it. It's just, but maybe commitment to something is feeling like you're not necessarily all there. Maybe that's what this like delay is about. Communication is key, new moon in Gemini. So your commitment is being tested and communication is key. So just keep communicating and moving towards this Queen of Swords energy. And communicate whatever it is that you feel with, with like control over the way in which you're communicating. That is adaptive. So to continue to communicate, and maybe it'll help to clear up this idea. And this is maybe like you're having a little, not trouble, but unclear or muddled thinking about maybe this situation where your commitment is being tested, and just like continuing to communicate is a good way to deal with that energy. So it seems like in general you're feeling like you're standing in your abundance. You're feeling like a sense of joy and love, and you're really working on the ways in which you communicate. Maybe your commitment to an idea that you previously had is being tested, and that's why you are developing this new way of communicating and thinking about things, so that you can move into a new commitment for a way that you can, think of and observe the world. Just going to read these first top two because I did see them. Okay, so the first one is resplendent with grace. The second one is the dissolving light. Resplendent with Greetings from my heart, Leo season. To you who are always with me, hidden inside as the heart. You are the compass of my life. My course is your way, no matter where I go. You exist everywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My soul brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there is an opening from my heart into yours. Through that opening, I send you secret messages like the moonlight. I polish the mirror of my heart to be your reflection. I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words, this communication energy. You are in the ear, you are in the mind, Aries. You are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. This is my way to describe you. Your divine grace clothes me in robes of sky blue and blood red. As a shimmering galaxy of compassion within the field of which no being is excluded, the darkness of night is illuminated, and all creatures are bathed in the fine golden hue of your presence. golden hue, Leo season. There's only beauty beheld now, for there's nothing that is not of your artistry, of your divine hand, generous with its grace. Your divine hand. You may be wondering if you can attain the next stage of growth in your life. You are already well equipped to do so, no matter what you might believe about the situation, circumstances, or others involved, even yourself. You have within your soul possession more than enough grace to see you through anything. You are boldness, Aries, to envision for yourself, or for any vision you feel life has bestowed upon you. So pray through unconditional love to access all that you are, to be supported by those beings that love you without condition. Pray to realize that you are so drenched, you are so drenched in grace that the well of your being is full. All that is needed to nurture you onto the next stage of your life is within you now. Success is yours, but you must believe in your ability, your readiness, and your capacity to take this next phase of the journey now. How could it be otherwise? For you are one with grace. So you're ready for this next stage. Accept the love of the people who love you, and that accepting that grace will just kind of keep moving you forward into this next stage. You're in a very steady, stable place. You're like reworking and rethinking certain ideas, because there's always the only constant is change, but you have the support of that grace of the universe with you. So a reminder to just keep it moving. And then the dissolving light also popped out. I died as mineral and became a plant. Virgo season's coming. I died as plant and rose to animal. I died as animal and I became human. Why should I fear anything when was I ever less by dying? So yes, going into this new kind of way of thinking can be seen as sort of a death process of the old to get into the new. Dare to take my hand and become set alight with holy fire, my cherished one. Aries sign and Leo season. Step forward with me, let us burn together, dissembled in a light that cannot be extinguished. This is the light that burns with such incandescent truth that no falsehood can withstand its audacious vibrancy. Come with me now to the light. Together we shall melt into the truth. Come with me into the light. The water signs, the days at their brightest. Together we shall melt into the truth. So bringing like love into the ways that you express and communicate your truth. Trust in your changing perspective and perceptions. Don't hold on to... Don't hold on to what you once believed or thought to be true. Allow yourself to be shown another version of events, another way of perceiving. Don't focus on what is not working in your current estimation of things, for that is nothing more than a passing opinion. Please. You are being given an opportunity to see and know yourself, others, and particular life circumstances very differently. So, muddled, unclear thinking, because you're working to get to this next process of thinking and feeling, of thinking and communicating. Embrace it. Don't resist what is being shown to you, for even if there are some struggles in adjusting your view at this time, ultimately this change in perception will free you and bring you more deeply into the wellspring of your own inner peace and happiness. So when I'm thinking about developing new perspectives, I'm thinking of the Hanged Man card here. Hey, be nice, please. Be nice, please. Hey, please. Interesting. Working to put down the swords, put down the wands. Bring you more deeply into the wellspring of your own inner peace and happiness. So into this wellspring by allowing this new perspective to take shape. I'm thinking Hanged Man energy of developing new perspectives, but here it's specifically about how you are perceiving and communicating and sharing your ideas. So you have grace on your side and allow that that process of developing that new way of thinking to emerge, which can sometimes feel a little bit stressful, but I don't see a tremendous amount of stress here by any means. So that's a beautiful reading, and good luck on your journey, Aries. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching the channel.